Hello everyone, Thurman here from Measured. I've made it my quest to discover the best ingredients and drinks in the spirits industry. So of course, we teamed up with Grada's very own Clara Santiago, their head of coffee, to take us on the journey and teach you how we go from farm to bottle to cocktail. So we've talked enough about this beautiful little bean, everything from farm to cherry, cherry to bean, bean to grind. But now I want to learn more about extraction.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about extraction and hot extraction?
Sure, so this is a hot extraction device here. Shall we make it?
Please.
So hot extraction uses hot water to extract the coffee, the aromatic, the flavors, and that's the process we're going to do today. And we're going to do a bit of a Brazilian style. They don't measure, they don't weigh. We're just going to go freestyle. We're going to use some coffee by our co-roaster, Criteria. And let's start, shall we?
So as the hot water's going through, that's basically what's releasing the flavors.
So yeah, we're going to use a controlled temperature around 92 degrees, which is perfect for hot extraction filter. And we use around 92 to 95 degrees for Grada. So it's not too far off from our temperature.
And with hot extraction, obviously you're making a few cups now, but is this something that you guys scale up? You can scale up in large batches?
Yeah, so it's a little differently than this. So the coffee goes in first. There's controlled water temperature, 92 to 95 degrees. And then you need to agitate it. So hot extraction requires agitation, whereas if you use it in a cold brew, you just put it in the filter, put in the cold water, put it in the fridge. But because you want the flavour to be balanced and you want it to extract as equally as you can, then agitation is required.
And in terms of, obviously, hot extraction uses hot water, cold brew or cold extraction uses water and colder temperatures. Is there a big difference between the flavor profiles that you get between the two?
Yeah, for sure. So with cold brew, you're always going to get a thin body. The hot water allows it to, you're extracting the flavors in a short amount of time, and you have the ability to extract the body, the sweetness, the acidity, whereas cold brew is very mellow. You're not going to get the body, it's going to be thin. I suppose it's great for people who don't really like that coffee flavour, that traditional coffee flavour. Cold brew was introduced for people who didn't really like coffee. And then it's kind of, oh, I like coffee now. Like, it's mellow, it's thin, it's sweet.
And is that why when I, at home, make an espresso martini, I'll sometimes for ease use cold brew coffee? Is that why you don't get that bit of froth at the top of your espresso martini from a cold brew?
Yeah. Hot extraction has more body. So you're going to get a lot more crema, is what we consider it, crema. Yeah, so that's what you're going to get from a hot brew that you will never get from a cold brew, unless you add agencies to it to get that crema. But hot brew, like you see it in an espresso. When you extract the espresso, you look for the golden crema. When you look to shake an espresso martini, you look for that beautiful crema on it as well. And you've just got to add too many elements to do that with a cold brew, to lift and elevate to what you want to get in an espresso martini.
And in the hot extraction space, you mentioned 92 degrees. Is that typically the temperature across batch brew, espresso machines, and different forms of coffee, or do they work with different temperatures?
Espresso machines work with different temperatures. They're a bit higher, so I would say they're like 96 to 100 degrees. But, filter coffee, batch brew, pour over, AeroPress, we're generally working all with the same temperature. We don't want it to be too hot, because that's when you can get that bitter, unpleasant flavors. It has to be a really controlled, mellowish temperature to allow the coffee to brew to perfection. Cheers. Eyes.
So when you're tasting a coffee, are there traditional flavors that you should be expecting to find?
It depends on what process, what variety, and what country you're tasting. First, we will smell it on the nose. It's quite soft.
Yeah.
It's like quite blossomy and fruity, but then it's got that caramel chocolatey notes behind it that we often find in Grata on the nose as well. So it's got like certain similarities there.
So let's taste it now. I just want to taste it against the Grata. It's crazy the similarity in the mouthfeel that you get. Like even though that's obviously cold, this is hot. There's just something happening on the tongue that I don't know exactly how to explain, but.
Yeah, and that's the hot extraction method. You know, like when you're having a cold brewed coffee liqueur, it has a very short lifespan on your palate. It dissipates quickly, whereas a hot brewed coffee liqueur, it will remain on your palate. It'll have a lingering aftertaste and stay there, you know, for a few more seconds more than a cold brew will.
It's wild. It honestly feels like it's kind of almost dancing from the middle of my tongue outward.
Yes.
It's really, really nice.
So now you understand the difference between hot brew and cold brew and the reasons why we use hot brew. Why don't we talk about how we incorporate that into liqueur?
I'm ready.
Cool.